Got it. Wait, yeah.
I'm getting ready to meet with my student here for the third time. As previously stated, the student is a aircraft technology student who is trying to get credit for his coursework that he took previously. It's 10 years old, passed the 10-year rule for technology classes at St. Philip's. Although since he was in the Air Force for 20 plus years and is a certified A&P mechanic, we are trying to go ahead and see if the department will waive that 10-year rule and grant him credit. Also, we put together a PLA, including a portfolio and some of the other work that he's done in college to see if we can grant him some aircraft credit. We're trying to get to the point where we can get him graduated in 1 year. We've submitted some things to the dean, some paperwork here to get the waivers processed, and we've also submitted the portfolio for review. So we've received the results back. The student is going to come in and we're going to go ahead and be discussing that. So we'll do that shortly in just 1 second. Okay, so go ahead and hit recording. Good afternoon, Mr. Johns. We are here. Pause it. Good afternoon, Mr. Cantu. Glad you could make it here. We just wanted to go ahead and go over some of the stuff that we have submitted for you, as far as getting your credits evaluated through the department as well as the dean, to see if we can get you down to what we need to get you to for in order for you to graduate for in 1 year. I know you previously had a concern that your job wanted you to have an associate's degree within the year, and that you had quite a bit of work life experiences as well as some college credit that we were going to be applying. I know we were a little short last time when we looked as far as getting you graduated in a year. So we did go ahead and submit some things that we talked about. We talked about the portfolio of all the work that you had done in the Air Force as far as working on planes A&P wise. Mm-hmm. We also went ahead and submitted the course waivers for the classes that you had taken previously that were 10 years old, being that you were still in the business and you do have your certifications. We wanted to see if the department would go ahead and grant you those credits even though they were expired, based on the fact that you are in the industry and that you're still active and you have all your licenses still active. Were there any concerns that you had before we started here? I know you had some concerns last time that you were upset that we weren't able to give you all the credit that you had earned. We can only grant up to a certain amount of hours, but I think we're going to get, hopefully try and get close enough here to where we can get you out reasonably within the year's time frame. But did you have any other concerns?
The only concern I have is that I don't want to lose the hours that I had already taken, even though the hours are 10 years. I've already exceeded the 10 years, but I want to make certain that those hours, I don't want to take those classes over again. Those hours should be granted for me.
Well, we've got. I think we're going to have that taken care of. Like as I previously stated, I submitted a waiver to the department, with your experience stated, and they are going to go ahead and take the intro credits that you initially took as past the 10 years. So we're going to be able to get you, of course, shop safety that's a basic class. We're going to be able to get you shop safety. We're going to be able to get you sheet metal, landing gear. We should be able to also get you the FAA regulations. So we've already got those classes that we're going to be able to work towards.
Okay.
That they've already said it's been approved.
Okay.
That we're going to go ahead and be able to grant you those. There's some more specific ones in there that they weren't willing to go ahead and take past the 10 years. And part of that is because technology just changes, and even though the A&P has been the same for a long time, they want to make sure that stuff is up to date and current. But given your vast amount of experience, I think the way that we're going to attack that is we're going to do some course challenges. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to say is, especially with some of the power plant stuff, being the propellers and some of the engines. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my phone's ringing. As far as some of the propellers and reciprocating engine stuff, we're going to go ahead and challenge that. Now, let me ask you: do you think that you have the background to challenge those courses, or you think that you would be able to step into that kind of coursework and be successful in a course challenge?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean the experience that I acquired through the years of being associated in the field should be able. I should be able to challenge those easy, with my experience.
Well, that being the case, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to say that we're going to get a challenge on going on those, and that's already going to give us a total of, if we can get those 2 plus the 5 previous ones that they're going to give you credit for, that's already going to be 7 classes towards the hours that you need.
Okay.
Now, but I think we can go a little more. And what we did was, I know you put together the portfolio of your work experience in the Air Force, as well
Right.
as the credits, all your academic credit from the community college of the Air Force and all the stuff that you took before. All your core classes, like we discussed before, are already satisfied.
Right.
So we're not going to have an issue with the core. We're just looking strictly at your aircraft, airframe, and power plant mechanic. And I do believe that based on your portfolio, and let me check to see it. I know I had received a response earlier from the dean regarding your coursework that had been reviewed. And based on what I'm looking at, based on the work that you did in the Air Force, as well as what you've been doing currently with your current company, it looks like they're going to go ahead and grant you even more credit. They're going to say, based on your work-life experience, that they're going to go ahead and grant you, 4 additional classes.
Okay.
So we're already looking at having 11 classes knocked out of the way of the aircraft curriculum, and I think that is going to put us right within the time frame of being able to graduate you in the year. Now, I know we're going to lose a few classes that you didn't want to lose, but what we also have to look at is that we have some residency issues that we want to make sure that we've met here. At least 25% of 25% of your program has to be completed with us through St. Philip's College in order to go ahead and grant you credit. So we're going to lose a little bit, and that's inevitable. And I do apologize, and I know that you were dead set against losing any of them, but I think this is going to be the best case scenario for us,
Right.
and it is going to get us out during the year. And I know your employer has agreed to let you take classes during the work day.
Right.
Okay, during the work day. And so, having said that, we're only going to have to complete here, it looks like, another about 16 courses. Okay, and since the aircraft does run a block schedule, we are going to be able to do that relatively easily. So we will be able to, and now all this is assuming that, you complete the courses, that you are able to challenge these other 2 courses, which I'm fairly confident,
Yeah.
based on what we've
Right.
submitted, that you will be able to challenge and complete them. Of course, it's going to depend on whether you pass them or not. And then the other thing is going to be just to make sure that we've, the current classes that you do enter, that we get them all completed and passed.
Right.
That's going to be of, paramount importance to make sure that we get you out in the
Right.
year. We have a very little margin for error, but I think, given what we started with,
Right.
we're miles ahead, and this is going to get you the 2 associates, which is going to be the associate airframe and the associate in power plant.
Okay.
So not only are you going to have the 1 associate, you're going to have 2 associates, which is going to help you. Is going to help you in the meantime. And as we discussed before, as far as your entrance goes, we don't need you to take any of the placement exams.
Right.
We've got all your stuff that transferred in, all your classes that transferred in,
Okay.
all counted, satisfied core. Plus, you've got your military exemption for TSI, which is the Texas Success Initiative. You don't have to take; you've already satisfied that requirement. The only thing that I would say is that some of these courses, especially with the avionics courses are going to be math intensive. And if you haven't used math in a while, we probably want to get a referral done for you to use our tutoring center, which is Math South here at Southwest Campus, to get you in there to kind of make sure that you are able to be successful in your classes. And the other thing is too that we want you to feel like you do fit in on campus. I know you expressed a concern to me that you're an older student and that you didn't, you had some concerns about being in class with a bunch of young students all the time. And our average age is not a young student. The student we typically serve are students either getting retrained, trying to get workforce training. So the typical age of our student is a little bit older than what you think for a college student. But we do definitely want to make sure that you fit in on campus. And what we want to do is recommend, maybe a club, maybe join one of the clubs on campus. We have quite a few. We do have an aircraft club, that they help out at events, but kind of to get you to get the college feel. And I think just the vast amount of knowledge that you have in aircraft, would be a good thing, a nice thing to take, some of these younger guys under your wing and, share with them some of your life experience and knowledge and the stuff you've done in aircraft and places you've been. I know you mentioned you've been to a lot of different places around the world, Okinawa and Korea and some of those places. And I think, a lot of these students, when they finish here, are going to have to travel. It's a traveling man's job for the most part, so they're going to have to go where the work is. And I think sharing some of those experiences with them might be able to not only help you assimilate into campus life, but help them be successful also in the future. So, do you have any thoughts on what we talked about? I mean,
no, I'm concerned about the challenging those. Like I was telling you before, I think that I shouldn't have any problem with that. Considering my background.
right?
And is a pretty strong background in the aircraft technological field. So, but other than that, no. I think you explained everything pretty much.
Okay, so what I'm going to do for you here really quickly, I am going to put in a referral though. I want you to go ahead and take me up on that offer for math tutoring.
Okay.
I know you may think you might not need it, but I can just say that, for those of us who have been out of school for a little while, the math is the first thing that kind of tends to go. And
right.
if you don't use it, on a daily basis,
Right.
it's remembering the formulas, remembering order of operations,
Right.
simple things that we
Mhm.
take for granted, but that have to get done.
And I think it'll help too, serve as a refresher for when I do get into those math classes that, that it'll be easier to remember.
Right. So your referral is through. So they will be expecting you
Okay.
to go ahead and attend weekly. We put weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're having any trouble with your, like I said, your avionics courses, we'll be able to go ahead and power through those.
Okay.
And I don't foresee any problems with the tutoring. And I know you had mentioned that your kids are already all grown,
Right.
out of the house, so
Right.
you've got a lot of time to dedicate to this. So I think the plan that we have of attacking this really aggressively is going to work out for us. And within the year, I think we will be able to be successful, right? With double degrees, which is something different than what we initially started with.
Right.
So that's going to be a lot
Okay.
a lot better looking on your resume. And I know you currently do have a job that you're trying to keep,
Right.
but also with with a double associate, we may also want to look at our career center here to see what is available, because even though you do have steady employment, there may be some great opportunities for somebody with your kind of knowledge and your kind of expertise. And if we can get you in here and kind of go through some of our job placement programs and look at the database through Texas Workforce Commission
Mm-hmm.
and some other job postings that we do have, and look and see if there's anything that fits your particular skill set, which I think there's going to be,
Right.
especially here in town, a lot of things that will fit your particular
I'd be
skill
more
set.
qualified.
You'd be more qualified, and we
Right.
can probably do that. So I'm also going to put in a referral here to the Job Center, Career Center for us here at Southwest Campus. And we're going to have a career specialist meet with you and determine, what your skill set is. We're going to try and build your resume too. I know you had mentioned that, since you've been with the current company for a while, your resume may be a little bit out of date. So we're going to go ahead and get back in there and build up your resume and, see if we can, polish that, make it look real nice and good. But goal number one, make sure we keep the employment.
Okay.
Goal number two, look for better employment.
Right.
But I based on what we have and based on what we've been told by the department, by the chair, by the dean, I don't see any issues. Your portfolio was very nicely done. The chronological order of all your work was very easy to read, so they had a good time, a fairly easy time awarding that credit.
Okay.
But is there anything else that you think, look at everything that you have, is there anything else that you feel excuse me, that you might need some help with, or are you satisfied with what we've done?
Well, so far I'm pretty satisfied with everything that the effort that's gone into trying to get me this far.
Okay.
Right. And so I really don't have any other questions or issues at this point. I guess as I get further into the program, then perhaps maybe some issues will arise where I would have to probably come back in and ask questions about, the progress of where I'm at. No.
Okay, Mr. Conti, then the other thing I would like you to also do is take me up on that offer.
Right.
Take a few of those young students, mentor
Sure.
them a little bit. Get as acclimated to the college life as you can.
Okay.
If you have any issues as far as feeling overwhelmed, feeling out of place, come back and see me and see if there's something that we can do, get you into a different club or get you introduced to some other people. There are some groups of students on campus older students who hang around together and study for classes and stuff like that. And like I said, your experience is going to be more than valuable to people like that. And so we want to make sure that we're utilizing all your talents.
Right.
That way you're helping us, also we're helping you. There's kind of a good symbiotic relationship there. And we look forward to getting you graduated here. We're going to get it done.
Great. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right,
Thank
Mr.
you very
Conte.
much.
Okay. Absolutely.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good day.